We're going to get there, guys. I promise you. Otherwise, I'm going to have to, like, do spontaneous karaoke singing. Y'all want to see me do, like, spontaneous karaoke? Mitch, oh Mitch, push play, push accept. So if you're just joining us, we are about to have an interview, hopefully, with Mitch Holden. She's from the Great Canadian Keto Conference. This is coming to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Oh, I can riff it all right, Elon. On August the 17th, we got a great conference all set up. I'll be speaking there. Dr. Will Cole will be there. I just saw where Adam Nally is going to be speaking there. Various people within the keto space will be there. And yeah. Okay, she says, I will be sending a request. Well, you did send the request. Let me try to add you again. Please accept the ad. There you are.
There we are. Finally worked.
Hey, that's all right. She's never done this before, guys, so I have a lot of grace for people when you do this for the first time. I do this in my sleep now, Mitch. I don't even think about it anymore. Oh, yeah, there's people that don't know how to do this.
I bow down to you, Jay. I bow down.
It just means I've done this a very long time. So, well, welcome.
You have.
Thank you. Great Canadian Keto is coming up in 2 weeks from this Saturday.
Oh, my God. 13 days and counting.
Are you freaking out?
No, I'm pretty good. Pretty good. I do this for a living, so I'm good. Yes, it's my career.
Yeah, this is not new to you. It's a new kind of concept, though, for Canada. Can you talk about the uniqueness that is the Great Canadian Keto Conference, how this is so unique that this has never happened before in your country?
Yes, absolutely. So we do get a lot of speakers of your caliber coming through, doing book signings, doing one-off shows.
Hey, Mitch, I can't see your face anymore. I'm getting this number. I'm getting like the Blair Witch Project thing going on.
Oh,
I
great.
can't see your eyes. Yeah, show us your beautiful face. Pull the camera down just a little bit.
Is that better?
Top of your hair. There you go. That's what we need. Sorry.
Is that better?
When you started drifting, I was like, before long, we're just going to like lose her.
Where is she? Okay. So just to talk a little bit about the uniqueness of the event, thanks for pointing that out. We do get some great caliber speakers coming through Canada doing book signings. They tend to be one-off events, and so to have this type of event in Canada where we have access to the amazing caliber, the amazing lineup, yourself, you mentioned Dr. Will Cole, Dr. Adam Nally has now come on board, Megan Ramos. We don't have to, travel the thousands of miles now to go to KetoCon. Now we've got our very own, sort of KetoCon here within Canada and in the central hub of Toronto. So very readily accessible to all of our, Ontarians, if you will, because we've got people coming in from Ottawa, from Montreal, as far as Quebec City, which is, a good 8 or 9 hours away. So it's amazing to see the attendees and where they're coming from.
Right, and probably a lot from America as well, because it's not really that far. I remember I was talking to Dr. Will Cole, about going to Toronto, and he's like, well, from Pittsburgh, it's like a 45-minute flight. I'm like, really? Wow.
Yeah.
So there's a good portion of the United States where it's not that long of a flight. Even my flight from down here in South Carolina is really not that long.
Right.
So it's pretty accessible. That's really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. Toronto is extremely accessible.
And I would say of all the cities in Canada, Toronto is probably the most like an American city of all the cities that I've been to in Canada.
I would agree with you there. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely a metropolis feel to it, and so much to do within Toronto. So if people want to make more than the day of the event, there's so much more to do, and it's on a weekend. So double bonus.
Well, and see, you need to be thanking the Raptors, because now they're the defending NBA champions right there from that city, right?
We certainly are. Thanks for the shout out. Although
yes,
we've lost Kawhi now, so we'll see.
We're the North.
Yeah.
See,
Come on, we got to milk it while we can.
I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I'm going to pull out the sports reference every time I can.
All right.
tell us a little more about the genesis of this, because you wanted to have this, and your branding is what? It's Keto Canada Egg? Is that what you've been going by?
Well, originally, the Facebook group that's grown to over 31,000 members now.
Yeah.
When I started the group 2 years ago, we kind of gave it a unique Canadian spin. So it was Keto Canada A, the EH, that is synonymous with Canadians.
Right.
And then, of course, as we evolved into a conference, the branding of it changed. The name had to change. We wanted it all to align into one brand. And so that was the reason behind the change. But definitely,
it's the thinking marketing, you guys. I love you already.
So the group has been evolving over the last 2 years. I myself have been keto for 2 years, along with my husband. We do keto religiously. So, combining my love of event planning and then, of course, keto, it just made sense that it would evolve into this type of event.
Well, and I mean, you did a really good job for the first ever event, kind of putting together. You kind of mixed a little hometown flair. People like Joanna Wilcox, who I love today. She's Keto in Canada. Here on Instagram, you've got Jillian Solos, who's also a native from Canada. You got and Megan Ramos, of course, is there in Toronto with Dr. Jason Fung. And so you've got so many good kind of local flair, hometown people. And then you got desperate. You came all the way to America. People like me and Will Cole and Adam Nally and some other ones to come. You really did a great job, I think, for the first time ever trying to put this kind of thing together. I've done a lot of conferences, and the first go at it ain't usually this good, so kudos.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I hope that's attributed to my planning background. So for those that aren't aware, it usually takes a good 8 to 12 months to plan this type of event, and we've done it in less than 4. So while still holding down a full-time job and traveling with my current programs and clients, so it's been a whirlwind for sure.
I could write a book about like all the text messages I've gotten from you at such random hours. I'm like, oh yeah, she is nuts. So doing this with her regular schedule, and then this is just a little side hobby I'm going to do, and So I know you are so ready for August 17th to be here and be done.
So excited! I'm so absolutely excited. We've been getting messages over the last few weeks as we start to ramp up to the event of people indicating how excited they are to see all of you and to interact with all of the amazing speakers that we have for this event, and the exhibitors as well. I mean, if you take a look at, the exhibitors that are going to be on the trade show floor, and everyone is going to have access to, Canadians that are now following keto and really catering to the keto and low carb lifestyle. It's just truly amazing.
So tell us a little bit of the lineup. I will reveal that we've got something pretty special planned in the time when I was supposed to speak. You may be the very first speaker, so I thought, dang, no pressure, bitch. Thanks. I'm also the MC of the event, so I guess you're like, let me just talk out of the way and then you can MC and relax the rest of the day. So,
I knew you could take it, Jimmy.
Yeah, so I'm more than capable of taking it. I'll be fine. But I thought, man, how cool would it be? I've never done a live podcast from an event stage before, and my co-host of Keto Talk's going to be there. I ran it by Will, and he loved it. Then I ran it by you, and you were like, at first you were like, oh yeah, we'll have a little room for you. No, I'm thinking about doing it from the main stage, and you were like, oh my God, you were so
amazing.
About it. I think it's going to be a nice vibe to kick off the show, so we're real excited about that.
Absolutely, as are we. Our audience can definitely expect a very interactive number of sessions. So starting off with what you and Dr. Cole are doing, so that's quite exciting.
Yeah, and so talk about a little bit of the lineup. I mean, literally, you're going back to back to back to back to back to back. It's like pick and choose because you got to go to the bathroom every once in a while. Just what you want to go to, but they're all just so good, high quality speakers. You also actually asked my wife, Christine, to give a talk on digestion, and you've got Megan Ramos is going to talk about fasting. Jillian talking about kind of bioindividuality, and Will talking about his functional medicine. It's such a diverse list of topics. That's always the fun part for me when I do my low-carb cruise is, okay, I don't want the same message in every single talk. Let's mix it up. And I think you did a pretty darn good job of that.
Thank you. I mean, we do realize that we've got to cater to, the full spectrum of low-carb and keto, if you will. People that are just starting out, they're beginners, they don't quite know where to start.
Right.
There's a speaker for that. Those that are intermediate and are almost getting to their goal weight that are going to go into maintenance soon, there's speakers for that. And then those that are at the advanced stage and just want to come out and listen to the whole gamut of keto, whether they're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. I think there's a little bit of something for everyone. And you guys have provided some takeaways as well for each of your presentations. So every speaker that presents will have 2 to 3 takeaways that people can take with them, as opposed to just sitting there and listening to somebody go on about a particular subject. So you guys have been great as far as that goes, and providing the content and the takeaways that people are going to be able to benefit from.
So, Mitch, if people are interested, obviously there's still tickets left because you're on my show today. We're going to talk about it. So how do they get the tickets? Do you have a website that's easy to access, or where people can go to do that?
Absolutely. So there's 2 methods of getting access to tickets. The first one is going directly to eventbrite.com and searching Great Canadian Keto, and it'll populate the conference, comes right up. And then, of course, directly through our website, which is www.greatcanadianketo.com. They'll have access. There's a direct link button on there that takes you right through to the ticketing site where everyone can purchase their tickets. The other option, too, is, sometimes people aren't thinking that far in advance. They don't know what they're going to do in 2 weeks. And so we have ticket sales at the door as well. For those that want to make their last-minute decision day before or day of, there will be tickets available at the door.
So let's tell people where the door is. It's the Delta Hotels there in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's on Saturday, August the 17th. It's literally an all-day, one-day event. Am I leaving out any details?
Nope, you're bang on there. Delta Toronto is actually very centrally located, right across from the Metro Toronto Convention Center, and has great, easy access to the TTC, the GO train. There's parking in the surrounding areas, so there's multiple avenues for people to get to us.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for joining us here today on Jimmy Rants. Wanted to give a quick shout out to the Great Canadian Keto. We've been talking about you on Keto Talk since Will and I both will be there. We're just so excited to get there and to meet all the Toronto fans. And I've been trying to push it to Jimmy Moore fans, because that is my very last public appearance before I go.
That's correct. Yeah. So
if you want to see me and Christine one more time before we go away, unless you're personal friends of ours, and even you guys are suspects, come to the Great Canadian Keto Conference just north of the border in Toronto on August 17th. We would love to have you. Tickets are still available at Eventbrite or at the door. Well, Mitch, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
All right.
Have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
All right, guys. Mitch Holden from the Great Canadian Keto Conference. And, it's coming up here real soon. And, it will be my very last event before I'm gone on sabbatical for 6 months. So, I'm kind of excited about that. It's not really set in a whole lot, the reality of the sabbatical happening. But after that event's over, I think the reality is going to set in real hard. So, because that is the last scheduled event that I have on the calendar. Although I will tell you, I got contacted yesterday by I don't want to say too much because I'm not officially invited yet, but they really want me to come speak at their conference, and their conference is next year, February 28th, 29th, and March the 1st. And they were like, hey, we're getting an overwhelming demand to have you come talk. And that's literally at the tail end of the 6 months. We were planning on coming back March the 1st. So if I get accepted as a speaker, that could be my coming back reintroduction. I'll tell you more. If I find out about it before I go away on sabbatical, I'll let you guys know. But yes, just today is August 1st. And September 1, exactly like Kitty Cat is saying, exactly 1 month today, I go away. So, still mixed feelings a lot. So, anyway, that's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, pop on over to JimmyRants.com. You'll see that we start off on Instagram Live at Living Low Carb Man is how you can follow me there. That's right here. Thank you guys for being here today. If you missed the live, you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours. After 24 hours, pop on over to YouTube, type in a keyword search Jimmy Rants or youtube.com/Living Low Carb Man. Finally, the best of the best moments of this here show, we got a podcast for you. It's the Jimmy Rants podcast on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher, and all of these links, you guys, JimmyRants.com. So, until next time, and I do have a next time coming up a little bit later on today, I got a doozy, guys, to talk to you about on Jimmy Rants. We'll see you a little bit later on, and we'll see you then.